Damian Collins is a piece of trash, and Titus, you are so simple. Let's talk about ambitions. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is Ambition Season 1, Episode 10, and the name of this episode is X Factor. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, Damian Collins is trash, and Titus is simple. And what I mean by he's simple, meaning he's easy to manipulate and easy to get under his skin, especially when it comes to his marriage, because Titus took the bait and he ran with it. And I'm gonna get to what I mean by that. So let's begin this review. We see in the beginning of the episode, Stephanie gets a text from Greg Peters letting her know time's up. She's trying to call Rondell, but Rondell is canceling her calls. We come to find out that Rondell is actually having a meeting with Titus. Remember, previously, the last time they was at Thelma's place, him and Amara suggested Titus to help Rondell with her case to save the banks. So he's actually having a meeting with Rondell, and you know, she's really saying that she really hopes that he can help her, you know, so that, you know, she can finally beat the encroachers who are trying to come in and take the banks away from the community. But he kind of lets her know that he doesn't have the time because of his position at Purifoy. He really has a workload and he can't take any new cases. So then, after that, we get a scene up at Evan Lancaster's office. He meets up with Marvin and Marilyn. Remember, he wants Marvin to move his company, Beta Nu, to Atlanta to actually get an uprise in the economy. And we know that that Miss Stephanie done blackmail Miss Marilyn about her extramarital affair with the rocker, where they were doing drugs and, you know, fucking each and every way possible, how he ended up dead in his swimming pool. So she's got that lingering over her head. Well, we see that Evan invites both of them in. He kind of exchanges pleasantries with them, and he was saying that, Stephanie, mentioned about the women's gala, is messed up what happened to her, and maybe next year, Stephanie can be more involved with the planning. And then Marilyn was like, please, if I'm gonna get somebody to help me with planning, I would rather get Omarosa than that bitch. And of course, this takes Evan by surprise. Like, what the hell is this? And we see that Marvin interjects and says that, look, I've made a decision. We're gonna take Beta Nu to Charlotte, North Carolina. And he was like, what do you mean? I've given you a far more better deal, and you'll make a hell of a lot more money here in Atlanta than you would in Charlotte. Why would you go to Charlotte instead of Atlanta? Marilyn interjects that, well, unlike Charlotte, Atlanta pretty much has a blackmailing bitch as its first lady. So this definitely rings alarms to Evan, because I think Evan even knows about Marilyn's past, and it's plainly obvious now that Marilyn has told her husband Marvin about her extramarital affair while he was building Beta Nu. So then we see that Amara is on the phone, talking about Herschel. That's the guy that does the building. Dang, I forgot the top of my head. Where he approves the building zoning and all of that. And pretty much she's kind of working it out that, hey, if he talks, we'll give him a deal. But then again, he'll bring down Daphne, and this will definitely lead to Evan Lancaster. So while she gets off the phone, she gets interrupted by Karen. Karen lets her know that, look, I'm not really in a good mood, because I wasn't looking forward to going to Washington, hearing about how one of my prosecutors was literally kicked the shit out of by your husband. And she's like, look, Damien is lying. Titus never touched him. It's all a lie. And then she pretty much asks her, so let's be real, Amara, how long have you been sleeping with Damian Collins? And she pretty much says that, look, this happened a long time ago, and there's nothing like that now, but now he's literally trying to destroy my marriage, and he's been doing every single thing he can to come for me. But Karen lets her know that, look, this situation, I'm going to have to take this up with HR. So now her job right now is somewhat on the line due to this situation because of Damien and his bullshit. And then she's trying to tell Karen that, look, Damien is behind this. He will stop at nothing to destroy my marriage. Like, this is what he's trying to do. And pretty much she lets it be known that, look, we just have to take this to HR and we'll take it from there. And she pretty much says that, look, where is Damien? Because Damien is lying, and I'm going to let you know, he won't lie to my face. And she lets him know, oh, he's on administrative leave. He'll be back in a few weeks. I'm like, oh, you bitch ass Damien. Like, seriously, bruh? So you still gonna be fucking with her from afar even though you not there. You now got Karen up in arms about this whole situation involving him and Titus that he concocted. And now Amara is literally put in jeopardy because if it really gets out, she could possibly lose her job. The main reason why she went there was to get a new start, and now her whole opportunity can literally blow up in her face. Crazy as hell. So then afterwards, we get a scene with Bella and Rondell. Bella comes in there with a gift, and Rondell was like, it's a little too late for my birthday. She's like, oh, but this is from my mother. And Rondell lets Bella have it. She pretty much lets Bella know that, look, I know you trying to make a peace offering with your mother and all, but you need to make it right with your mother, because at the end of the day, your mother will lay her life on the line for you and Joaquin. And little does she know, she doesn't even know that Joaquin is her nephew. But then she says that, look, if you keep going on like this, when your mother is gone, all the I'm sorries and please forgive me will never bring her back. And I think this is also personal from Rondell because I think she has some unsettled issues with her mother, which is why she's so adamant about Thelma's place surviving, because she feels she owes it to her mother to keep her legend alive. But I'm thinking there was also some personal angst that was going on between Rondell and her mother Thelma. That's just my hypothesis. I could be wrong, but the way Rondell comes off, there's some undealt with issues involving her and her deceased mom. But she pretty much lets her know that, look, I'm very close to your mother. Your mother's like an auntie to me, so I'm going to always have her back. But yeah, she pretty much sends Bella on her way, and then she was like, tight ass skirt. I'm like, oh yeah. And you be amazed who getting in between that tight ass skirt. Mainly your brother and all of his shenanigans. And definitely we get a run-in with the two of them, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So then we get this scene in the boardroom at Carlisle and Perkins. Stephanie's at the helm. The board is literally going off because, they're looking at the fact that because Rondell has not signed this whole deal with English Rose is going to fall apart. Investors going to start pulling out and all of that. And she pretty much says that she mentions that, look, Greg is out of town dealing with his father, but he should be back soon. And then we have this one person on the board named Lucinda. Lucinda is giving Stephanie the blues, and she was saying that, look, how do we know that this is going to go through? Because due to the fact that you couldn't even get the signature, why would any of us still be behind this deal? And we ain't even sure that it's going to go down. And, so she's pretty much saying that, look, we need to pull rank and we need to get away from this shit, because from the way it's looking, English Rose ain't going to get this shit. But then she tries to let Lucinda know that, look, we have landed and have secured so many business opportunities and business deals for Greg Peters Construction. But then Lucinda was like, yes, but that was when we were working under your father, not you. Oh, so you know Stephanie felt some kind of way because she's an egotistical heifer. So she definitely felt some kind of way. What ends up happening is that Lucinda says that, like, okay, fine, we won't move yet. But if you fail, the Carlyles will be ruined so badly that they won't even be able to take a case involving a traffic ticket. Oh, that damn Stephanie felt some kind of way because here it is, this woman charging up at her in the boardroom, and you can tell she's more, she has more of an allegiance to her father than to her. Oh, she pretty much says, you know, I'm gonna let you know something, Lucinda. May God have mercy of your soul if you ever become one of our enemies. So she literally directly threatened her ass. So then we see that Stephanie is literally talking to, I think, Nick, you know, her private investigator, said, give me everything you can on Lucinda. I'm about to shut this bitch down and all this shit. And then Evan comes in, it's like, huh, seems to me you working on your next victim, huh? And then she was like, what are you trying to say, Evan? And he was like, so tell me, Stephanie, when do you go to blackmailing your friends to ensure deals? What is that all about? And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, and he mentions that he met with Marilyn and Marvin and Marilyn. And she was like, yeah. So, and then all of a sudden, that immediately when he had said that blackmailing your friends, that immediately let her know, oh my God, Marilyn told him. Like, yeah, he know everything now. So, and then he says that, yeah, and to top it off, he wants to move Beta Nu to Charlotte. And Stephanie still continues that, oh, so she decided to finally tell that she was rolling around in the hay with Colin Apathy, with little Khalil, you know, pedaling as a baby. And then we actually see that once they go out into the hallway, because Evan pretty much told her that, look, you've done enough. You need to chill, you know, because now we could lose everything because you overstepped by blackmailing her. But yet she went and told her husband, and now they literally came in as a joint team to shut me down. So they go in the hallway. Bella is there to meet with Stephanie, and you can just feel the awkwardness in that scene, especially because there's still that elephant in the room that not only is Evan having an affair with Bella, but he also has a child with her, and nobody knows that's his kid. But I think only people that know is Inez, and I think Senior knows. It hasn't been confirmed that Caesar knows, but Senior, I think, knows that Joaquin is his grandson. You know, so those only two that know, and Stephanie has no idea. So she pretty much says she's there to look over some business matters. She's an attorney. She wanted to come there for her to look over some information. So of course you can definitely see that Evan feels some kind of way because she's there, you know, and she's there with Stephanie. So she pretty much says that I want you to look over my contract with Corazon Textiles. You know, they have a procurement deal, and I've been doing all this extra work for them, and I hope I don't get screwed. And Stephanie lets her know, well, honey, you're supposed to see an attorney before you sign, not after. And then she says that, you know, Valentino DeSantos, I mean, she's big. She's a big deal. How the hell did you pull this off? So she already kind of looking down on Bella like, bitch, how you get this? You ain't on her level. But she says that, look, I've been, you know, getting a lot better with my designs, and you know, my internet profile is grown as well. So that's how she found out about me. But then she says, okay, child, I'll get one of my paralegals to look this over. But that's all I can do for you now. So then we see that Bella actually ends up leaving. And I'm like, Stephanie, you condescending bitch. Like, you literally had to put her down, but little do you know she got the deal because your husband hooked her up. Wait till you find that shit out. And not only that he has a baby with her. And the whole time she been designing your dresses, and yet within the same stroke she been fucking your man. So then we get a scene with Marilyn and Amara. Marilyn goes to see Amara at her office, And, you know, she pretty much says that, you know, I've been, you know, I mean, Amara says, you know, I've been worried about you since the Women's Summit, you know. I mean, pretty much what went, you know, because I kind of heard what kind of went down between you and Stephanie. And she says that, you know, the kind of person that Stephanie is. Stephanie is only your friend when you play by her rules, and that she will stop at nothing to get what she wants. So therefore, this is definitely causing some alarm to Amara. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, because she brought back Damian Collins to break up you and Titus so she can get Titus for herself. So in the way, you know, I have to say Marilyn was kind of like, you know, the ghost. Like if you ever study Shakespeare, they always got the ghost who's kind of pre-telling what's really going on. Marilyn was that for Amara at that moment, kind of let her know that, yeah, you know, Stephanie, you know, will stop at nothing to get what she wants. And she asks Marilyn, what did she do to you? And she says she betrayed me in the worst way, but she wouldn't tell her what it was. So then we see back at the firm, Bella gets on the damn elevator, only for Evan's security to stop the elevator door from closing. Evan gets in the elevator with her, and it's like, and he's asking her, what the hell you doing meeting with my wife? You know, and pretty much she says that, what, you've never seen somebody get legal advice, you know, before? And he was like, you ain't never came to her for legal advice, you know. And then pretty much she was like, you know what, I wouldn't feel some kind of way, but due to the fact that you have, you know, dick pics of me and that you blackmailed me, I don't trust anything you do. And she's like, I wish I never laid eyes on you. And he's like, the feeling's mutual, bitch. And he was like, stay the hell away from my wife. And then her ass went into her little shit. Oh, really? What are you gonna do? He literally yanked her ass and threw her up against the elevator wall and was like, I will make you wish that Inez never gave birth to your ass in a free clinic in the banks. I was like, oh, shit. Ooh, oh, Bella was in her feelings like shit. I'm like, yeah, now you know you done pissed him off and he about to start beating your ass. Because she keep doing shit, you know, to antagonize him. But then again, he made her that way. He made her this grimy, vindictive, and very treacherous woman, because Inez did say on the last episode, all the great parts about her you destroyed. And you've been feeding her lies for years. And it's made her into this person who just does whatever. But in that moment, he checked her ass. And I was saying, Bella, you doing too damn much. And it's going to get to the point where Evan going to jack your ass up. So yeah, he jacked her ass up. And he pretty much said, I'll make you wish that Inez never gave birth to you in a free clinic at the banks. So he pretty much said that, bitch, you dirt. Get the fuck out my face. You don't fucking scare me. I was like, yo. Bella, he literally had Bella shook. And I was like, Bella, you did that shit to yourself, bitch. I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry, I don't. You doing too damn much. So then, we get a scene with Titus and Amara. Amara asks Titus, you know, what did Hunter say about that whole thing about you supposedly attacking Damien? And he said that shit, Hunter was amused by the whole thing. You know, that, you know, he pretty much, so he pretty much says that, yeah, you know, as far as my job, everything is good. I mean, Hunter got a kick out of it. But then he also tells her about meeting with Rondell and that he can't take a pro bono case and everything, you know, and then he says that, you know, Hunter wants me to head of my game, you know. So immediately she kind of clocked that, okay, you're only doing this because you're afraid that Hunter's going to feel some kind of way if you take a pro bono case, you know, because now you're general counsel for a top pharmaceutical company, you know. You taking a pro bono case will definitely make Hunter feel some kind of way, especially when he's paying all this money for you to represent him. So, so then she talks about Marilyn, and she says that she told me to watch my back in regards to Stephanie. You know, she was kind of alluding to something that maybe Stephanie's involved in something illegal, but you know, And obviously, you know, it had me shook because when I asked her about it, she didn't say anything and she just kind of left after that. But then this is the thing that kind of stuck out in this scene where he says that, look, the truth will come to light and set us free. Remember that shit, because that shit does play out towards the end of this episode. So let me keep it moving. So then we see that Bella and her friend Perla, who's her model, meet up with Ignacio. We see that Perla is trying to throw the pussycat onto Ignacio, and he's completely blown her off. He's mainly focused on Bella and her designs and all of that. And she's like, oh yes, doesn't this make me curvy? I'm like, yes, because the way I really think it's the design. I mean, you know, Bella is a master at what she does. And he's paying her all these compliments, and he pretty much says that, you know, I got there's a few more pieces I want you to do. She says, oh, I already got them. You want to see him? He's like, oh no, I actually have another appointment to go to, so I'll come back later and I'll see them then. So therefore, we pretty much see that Pearl is like, oh girl, this is like a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you about to win, I'm about to win. You know, I'm about to be, you know, the supermodel of the world and all that. But then she kind of lets her know that, you know, it's just a provisional contract. Well, Perla was like, well, hey, it's obvious that Ignacio's into you. Why don't you get one of them and make it permanent? And she says, no, this is SP, strictly professional. You know, but she's like, but he comes to your house for showings, honey. He's obviously trying to see more, not of your designs, but also of you. And she's like, nah, he off limits. I'm not trying to do that. You know, I've learned from my past, so I'm not trying to go down that road. And she was like, well, this is a surprise. After all the glides you have strung along. And she's like, excuse me, Perla, what you trying to say, bitch? You need to check yourself. And she's like, look, you have everything and you're living your best life. Maybe I'm just feeling some kind of way because I'm kind of down right now, but you know, I am happy for you though, in spite of that. And Bella lets Perla know that, look, things will get better for you, you know, and you know, you just gotta trust me. I got you. And all of a sudden she went to go hug her, and Perla had that dirty look on her face. I'm like, oh, this bitch is about to burn you, Bella. She's fucking about to burn you because she's jealous that you're getting all of this praise and notoriety, and she wants Ignacio, but Ignacio obviously wants Bella and not her. And she feels some kind of way, and I'm like, see, your little bestie's about to turn into your fucking frenemy. So watch your back, bitch. So then we get a scene where Stephanie goes to Thelma's place to still get Rondell to sign the thing, and she's like, no, I ain't doing it. And she's like, I changed my mind. And then she tried to go look for scenes. She's like, oh yeah, Daddy said he ain't selling either, you know. But then she lets Rondell know, well, either you sign this or you and your father can be out on the street. She's like, honey, I ain't even worried about that shit, because I got me a lawyer, and he gonna fight you and Greg Peters. And do you know that this bitch had the nerve to say, well, who did you call? 1-800-GHETTO-LAWYER? I was like, oh, you condescending bitch. That was funny, though. I have to say, shout out to Robin Givens. She is doing some superb acting playing Stephanie, because Stephanie is a piece of work with her succubus ass. And all of a sudden, we come to find out is Titus. Titus has decided to take the case pro bono. And then she kind of goes at him like, oh, I know what you're doing. You want to take this case pro bono because you regret selling your soul to Hunter Purifoy. You know. And then all of a sudden, you know, they kind of go back and forth, and she's pretty much saying that, you know, well, what we're gonna do is try to get a delay in the injunction, you know, and she's still trying to get her to sign it, and she's like, no, I ain't signing shit. And plus, you know, Titus is confident that he got this in the bag. But she pretty much says, that, you know what, Titus, my greatest hope is that you will live to regret what you're doing right now. Because she already knows how Greg's family operates. They literally got a hit out on fucking Rondell. Like, Rondell is a target, and Rondell don't even realize it, the type of enemy that she's up against. But then again, she's also trying to stand up for her community, because she lost her man because of Stephanie and that bullshit. But then again, the fact that Kent will leave because of that kind of lets me know that, yeah, you was also with her because you were trying to get close to take down Evan, you know, because you want to be mayor of Atlanta. So we're going to see if Kent makes an appearance in the mid-season finale. But yeah, because after that whole thing went down, he just kind of left, and we ain't see him at all this episode. So he's still pissed at her, and I think that's why Rondell literally now does not want to sign, because of Stephanie doing that bullshit at Thelma's Place's anniversary. She lost her man behind the shit. And let's just say, I'm pretty sure Kent tore Rondell up, because she was getting her light. She had them legs up in the air and was like, Jesus. I'm like, real talk. So then we get a scene with Bella and Ignacio. Pretty much he lets her know that he loves her work, her designs, you know. And pretty much she asks, okay, so you know about me. Won't you tell me a little bit more about you? You know, is what they say about you online is true? And he says that, yeah, that I used to, you know, race cars and trash hotels, you know, and have sex with every different woman every day of the week. Yeah, that was me. But he's like, now I'm looking for a woman of substance, a woman who's strong and vulnerable, like you. And I'm like, oh shit, Ignacio, look at you putting on the Mac Daddy vibes on her. And he tries to make a move on her, and she shuts him down. She's like, look, I want to keep this professional. But then again, I was like, okay, now that you rejected Ignacio, what does that mean for your position? Is he going to be the kind of guy that's going to respect that? Or is he going to change up on you that because you ain't give in to him? We'll just have to see. So then we see that Stephanie goes to Hunter Virafoy to meet up with Titus. He's like, well, I'm actually surprised they let you up in here after the last time. Shoot. I guess the security was being very lenient with you. And we come to find out he won Rondell's case, and he was able to get an injunction to give her more time to get more signatures. And we see that when he comes in, he's talking to Amara on the phone, and he's like, Stephanie in the back to my son. I'm like, you petty as hell, Stephanie. Ugh. Like, Stephanie's a damn mess. So they go back and forth. And he's like, damn, I'm surprised they let you re-enter the building and shit. And then, like, they kind of go back and forth because that's what they do. You know, they're lawyers, and they kind of speak the same language. And pretty much she's saying that, yeah, you trying to undermine me is a big mistake, Titus. I mean, a grave mistake. I mean, what do you think Hunter's going to find? What do you think Hunter's going to do when he find out you're moonlighting? And he's like, yeah, but speaking of bosses, how's your daddy? I was like, oh shit, Titus, you better serve it to her ass. That really made her feel some kind of way, because she gets tired of people kind of calling her, you know, daddy's little girl. She don't like that shit. And he pretty much, she pretty much lets him know, you know what? You should relish this moment because it ain't gonna happen again. So I was like, yo, they was really going at it. And she kind of gets off on it. You know, she likes fighting with him, and she wants his ass. That's why she brought Damien back into town. So so then we get a scene with Evan and Rondell. She got an extra week, you know, to get signatures. And she's hoping that the restaurant will be spared. But then he's kind of letting me know that, look, you know, ATL is growing at a fast rate. And she's like, yeah, I know that, but the community, the people that have been here should benefit from it, and not the encroachers and the outsiders. And she makes a good point, you know, pretty much trying to stop gentrification. And yeah, the economy is booming, but why is it that the residents who have been here for years don't get the benefit off of this economic wave? So then we see that Stephanie is getting emails of all these different investors pulling out of English Rose. Greg Peters texts her and he says that, look, time is up. You know, it's completely out of my hands now. So she calls Nick to have a bodyguard protect Rondell day and night. You know, that don't let it be known that she's even being watched. He has to be good and he has to make sure that someone keeps an eye on her. So I'm like, yeah, this may change Rondell's tune when she realized that, yes, because that deal didn't go through, they gonna try to kill her. So then we get this powerful scene with Stephanie, Evan, Marilyn, and Marvin. And pretty much, you know, Marvin and Marilyn feel some kind of way. It's like, so who the hell you think you are, Evan, summoning us? And pretty much he was like, look, I was just trying to show compassion. And pretty much saying that compassion, as far as her, she didn't have any compassion in our whole entire body. And if you keep up this bullshit, I will see to it that you know, that you're disbarred, and also I will see to it that you're impeached, Evan. So they talking big shit or whatever. And then all of a sudden he mentions Grant Creighton. You know, he's this big hedge fund manager who owns many shares of Belton New. And with this situation coming out about Maryland, he's planning a hostile takeover. Now, then we see that Marvin changes his tune now. And then he's like, so what are the terms? And she's like, oh, don't do that. He's like, shut up. It's because of you we in this mess in the first damn place. So pretty much he says that this is the deal. You move Beta Nu to Atlanta and we will never mention, you know, Maryland's past ever again. So pretty much he shakes on it. He's like, okay, we got a deal. And then all of a sudden that damn bitch Marilyn was like, I should have killed you when I had the chance, talking to Stephanie. She's like, oh, what the hell you talking about now, bitch? And she's like, yeah, honey, you look a little parched. Wouldn't you like another Manhattan? And she's like, oh, you drugged me at the summit, you murderous bitch! And she was like, oh, shit. And she was like, and then like her husband, and then like Marvin was like, you seriously was gonna do this and ruin things? She's like, oh, please, it was worth it. Fuck that bitch. So it was crazy. So they eventually leave and everything. And then, you know, we see after that, due to the fact that he now got Beta Nu, and, you know, coming to Atlanta versus going to Charlotte. Oh, tell me why Stephanie the succubus and her lady bitch just starts getting all horny and shit. It was like, oh, I like the way how you dismantle an opponent. And the next thing you know, her and Evan end up fucking on his desk. And I was like, ooh, Mayor Lancaster. So yeah, they be having a little sexual tryst when they got their little moments and shit. But little do they know, they both got partners outside of that shit. Because both of them be on some fuck shit. So then we see that Titus is on his way home, leaving Purefoy, and he gets intercepted by Damien. And he's like, what the hell you doing here? And he's like, look, I'ma do you a solid, you know, because obviously you've been misinformed. She told you we were together once, right? I'ma let you know, yo, your wife has been feeding you a bunch of bullshit. I had your wife all over Birmingham, Alabama. So, I got you a little present. Check your, Purefoy email account. Oh, when Amara gets home, Titus is sitting in the dark. She's like, what the hell is going on? And she looks down and she sees that the photo with her and Titus was broken. You know, the frame and everything. So, he is pissed. And he pretty much tells her, I'm done. And she's like, what do you mean you're done? You know, what are you saying? And And pretty much, yeah, she's like, what I'm talking about is your whole little meth ring investigation that you was doing with Damian Collins. I know, you know, I told you, did you tell me everything? Because you told me it was only one time. Well, she's like, well, I did tell you everything. You really weren't specific. She's like, do not fucking play word games with me, bitch. I'm not here for it. You know, how many times did you crawl out of his bed and into mine? And then he says, oh yeah, and I read all your text messages too. Oh, Damian is an evil bastard. After he had little Brody on his knees, you know, sucking his everlasting gobstoppers and shit on the last episode, he literally decided he gonna really throw the juggernaut and really fuck up their marriage. And this did it. Because he says not only did he give me text message, he also gave me this. It was a voice message she left where she says that, you know, and also in the text messages, she mentions, I love your hands over me. Isn't that what she said to Titus in the very first episode of the season? Oh, I love your hands on me. And he immediately rejected her like, you ain't never said no shit like that to me before. So he's now he's connecting all of this shit. And I'm like, damn, he is so simple, because this shit really done pissed him off. Damon really got him heated. And then he pretty much says that, oh yeah, and I also got this. It's a voice message. She was saying that, oh, I miss you. No one has ever made me come so hard, you know, before, you know, and no one has made me come as hard as you do. And I love when I'm with you, because when he's home, I'm not even there. You know, I only think of you, Damon, and I'm thinking about leaving him. I was like, ooh, bitch. He got your ass, Amara. Damian fucked you up. And she was trying to stop him, and he's like, look, you know, you weren't around. And he's like, I was working to provide a home for you and Deja, and here it is, you getting it on with your damn partner. And she's like, oh baby, please don't let him ruin us. This is what Damon wants. He wants to separate us. And he was like, I'm out. He pretty much glows, and she's begging him to stay and everything, and she breaks down. And that's where the episode ended. I was like, bitch, you done fucked up. I'm like, ooh, I want them to find out that Stephanie was behind that shit, and she go to toe on Stephanie's ass, because Stephanie literally has fucked up her life, because that damn Damien is a cruel psychopath, and he will stop at nothing to get what he wants. And now he done got Titus all bent and all angry, and he knew by him playing all that shit was going to get him pissed off, and he was going to flip on Amara. So now Amara is completely open for Damien to make his move. And I'm like, yo, that shit is wild. But next week is the mid-season finale. I can't wait to see what happens next. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. Also, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of Ambitions. Man, this damn season is crazy. And shout out again to Will Packer and Jamie Giddens. You guys are killing it with this show. So until next time, everybody, take care.